Hi yogis, my name is Anna. Today we'll be doing a hips focused power class. So when you're ready, we'll go ahead and get started. Lying down on our backs. Lie your spine down on the earth. Take a moment here. You can either find Supta Baddha Konasana with your knees splayed open and the soles of your feet to touch. Leave your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your heart. Or for a little bit more of a gentler option, you can find fallen bridge pose. Plant your feet on the earth and bring your knees to touch. Find whatever variation works for you and start to settle in. Connect to your breath. Simply notice it. Notice the texture, the sound, the length of the ins and the outs. Begin to draw both of your knees into your chest. Roll from side to side to massage and release your lower back. This is a hips focused class, so we'll do just a touch of hip opening in the beginning portion, lying down on our backs. We'll find reclined figure 4. Plant your left foot on the earth. Bring your right ankle to your left thigh. It is very early in class, so if this is enough sensation for you right here, you're more than welcome to stay. Or you can flex both of your feet, reach around for the back of your left leg. If you'd like a little more, you can reach for your shin. Find a positioning that works for you as we begin to slowly open up our hips. You can rock from side to side. Release your left foot down to the earth. Bring your right foot to meet and switch out your legs. Bring your left ankle to your right leg. You are more than welcome to stay here if you did so on the other side, or if you'd like, you can reach for your right hamstring or shin. Flex both of your toes to protect your knees. Again, you can maybe rock from side to side. And release your right foot down to the earth. Bring your left foot to meet. Draw your knees into your chest and begin to rock up and down along your spine. Eventually, you'll gain enough momentum to cross your ankles and come through to a tabletop shape. We'll begin with cycles of cat-cow. Inhale, cow pose, drop your belly, pull your collarbones apart. Exhale, cat pose, puff up between your shoulder blades, draw your tailbone towards the mat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Move through 2 more rounds on your own breath, as fast or as slow as your natural cadence. Come back to a neutral tabletop after your last breath. We'll start to work into a little bit of glute strengthening and activation. Oftentimes in hips, we just think about stretching and opening. I just combined those 2 words. Just stretching and opening, but what we want to focus on as well is strengthening our glutes and the muscles in that area. That will help protect us and keep us nice and safe as we move through our practice. To get started, find tabletop and slowly begin to draw your right ankle towards the ceiling. Spiral your right hip down, avoid lifting up and kind of tilting your pelvis. We want our hips to remain neutral. You can stay here or begin to lift your right heel towards the ceiling, just finding little pulses. Really think about the mind to muscle connection of your right glute as you lift your heel towards the ceiling. That will help you find more activation and mindfulness coming from that muscle. From this position, we'll start to take hip circles. Draw your right knee towards your right elbow, sweep it around and go back to your glute lift shape, and continue to take these big hip circles. I say big, but they can really be as large or as small as your body is craving. Take one more hip circle, and as you come around, plant your right foot on the earth for gate pose. I know you can't really see me there, but draw your right foot out. I'll go ahead and rotate so you can see. Draw your right foot out, plant the inner arch of your foot on the earth, and from here, begin to press your hips back as far as you would like for enough sensation through your inner leg as you press back. You can ease into and ease back. Ease up as you inhale and press back as you exhale. Slowly plant your right foot back underneath you for neutral tabletop. We'll move through those same repetitions on our left side this time. Slowly begin to lift your left heel towards the ceiling. Again, we want to avoid lifting up our hips and throwing our pelvis out of whack. Stay here neutrally and begin to find little pulses, just tiny micro movements. Hug your core in tight. Squeeze your lower ribs towards your hip dips to prevent arching your back. Just find little pulses. Think about squeezing everything together. From here, we'll start to find those hip circles. Rotate your hip, draw towards your left elbow, and go back out. And come around towards your elbow, as big or as small as you like. Just taking one more circle. And as you come along with your knee in line with your hip, press your left foot out for gate pose. Stay here or begin to melt your hips towards your heels. This will help you find a deeper stretch, more sensation through your inner left thigh. Again, you can find that little flow as you inhale, ease out of the pose, and as you exhale, melt back into a deeper variation. These aren't really big movements if you're taking this little flow, but just little transitions of sensation. Come back up to neutral tabletop, plant your left knee back under your hip. You're welcome to take any last reps of cat-cow or anything else that is calling your name right now. If you're ready to get moving, we can go ahead and find downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips towards the ceiling, melt your heels towards the earth. You can take walking dog by bending one knee and then the other, just to bring some more sensation into the back line of your legs. Start to find body stillness and awareness. Start to move through our first slow round of Sun A. In my teaching style, I like to do the first round of the flow slower and then speed it up breath to movement, so that way we can focus on alignment and finding stability first before adding in breath to movement. As you inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, take 10 tiny steps towards the top of your mat. When you arrive, we'll find ragdoll pose. Toe your feet hips width distance apart or wider. Bring a generous bend to your knees. Drape your belly over your thighs. You can grab opposite hand to opposite elbow for a bind. Sway side to side if that feels good to you. As you exhale, release your hands down to the earth. Toe your feet together with your big toes to touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Press your hands into your shins or thighs. Extend the crown of your head. Exhale, fold. Slowly uncurl your spine as you inhale for mountain pose. Send your arms overhead. Draw your hands to touch and bring them to your heart. Take a moment here to set an intention for your practice. Release your hands to your side. Inhale, mountain pose, send your arms overhead. We'll focus on our mountain pose foundation here. Press into all four corners of your feet. Micro bend your knees. Draw your tailbone towards the earth. Slide your shoulder blades together and down your back. Last inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down all the way to the mat. When you arrive, untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra pose. Press into the tops of your feet. Bring little to no weight into your hands. Release your chin back down to the earth. We'll take 2 more reps of this cobra pose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, up. Exhale, back down to the earth. Tuck your toes. Come through high plank or tabletop and press back to downward facing dog. That is our Sun A. We'll move through that, just making one change to our Cobra. As you inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank. This is where our change happens. We'll go over chaturanga first. These are always optional. You could take them from your toes, from your knees, or just hold high plank or skip it entirely. For chaturanga, inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down no more than halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Spread your collarbones apart. Lift your knees and thighs off the earth. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Again, those are always optional, and there is a multitude of variations for you to find in your practice. We'll go through our Sun A flow one more time. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, come to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, vinyasa. We will meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high. Take a moment here. Bend your knee, fan your hip open. Maybe roll your ankle. Re-lengthen your leg. And as you exhale, low lunge. Step your right foot in between your hands. Drop down to your left knee. We'll take a few breaths here, moving from this low lunge shape to half splits by lifting your heels off the earth. Sink your hips back towards your heel. Come back to low lunge. Move through this with your own inhales and exhales. If there's one spot that feels particularly tight and sticky, you can send extra breaths there. The next time you're in low lunge, plant your left hand on the earth. As you inhale, sweep your right arm towards the sky for easy twists. Exhale your hand back down to the earth, tuck your left toes, and head back to downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high. Same thing, bend your knee, open up your hip. Re-lengthen your leg. And as you exhale, low lunge. Plant your left foot down, drop down to your right knee. We'll move through this low lunge and half splits on this side. Come onto your left heel, flex your toes, crawl back to low lunge, and back to half splits. Again, you might have a really spicy spot on this side that needs a little extra attention, so you can send some extra energy and focus to those areas. Come back to your low lunge. Plant your right hand into the mat, and as you inhale, sweep your left arm skyward for easy twist. Exhale your hand back down, tuck your right toes, and come to downward facing dog. As you inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Sweep your arms overhead, sink your seat. We'll take a couple extra breaths here and moving through the first round of these new poses just to focus on our alignment. For chair pose, press into all four corners of your feet. Draw your tailbone towards the mat. Spiral your pinkies together and towards the back of the room. Last inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, your vinyasa. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Sweep your arms overhead. Stack your right knee over your ankle. Shine your hip pointers towards the top of your mat. Last in breath here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Sweep your arms overhead. Draw your chin away from your chest. Slide your shoulder blades together and down your back. Last in breath here. Exhale, vinyasa. Come back to downward facing dog. Connect to your breath. We'll move through that sun V flow with a little faster pace this time. As you inhale, come high onto your toes. Exhale, arrive at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, vinyasa. Head back to down dog. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back up. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, vinyasa. We'll head back to downward facing dog. Sigh all of your air out. Find a rich inhale. Deep sigh. Inhale. Exhale. We'll start to change it up a little bit. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Slice open towards the side of your mat. Press into the knife edge of your back foot. Gaze out past your front middle finger. Again, we'll move through this first round a little bit slower to focus on our alignment. In this sequence, we're going to be working with a warrior two variation. Draw your hands to your hips or heart center. Maintain the same shape in your lower body, but just simply start to tilt your torso forward. You'll feel a stretch through your inner leg here, similar to gate pose that we took in the beginning. Your right knee might start to cave in, so try to press it back out over your ankle. Inhale, back up, stack your spine, find warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Bring your right elbow to the inside of your leg. Energize your left fingertips towards the sky. Inhale, reverse warrior. Switch out your hands. And as you exhale, cartwheel down. Move through your vinyasa or skip it. And we'll head back to downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Open up towards the side wall. Square your chest and your shoulders towards the long edge of your mat. Slide your shoulder blades down your back. Plant your hands on your hips or at heart center and begin to tip forward. Again, we want to maintain a similar shape in our lower body. Press into the knife edge of your right foot. Feel the opening through your legs. As you inhale, begin to draw your spine back up for warrior two. And as you exhale, extended side angle on the left. Bring your left arm to the inside of your leg. Send your right hand towards the sky. Inhale, reverse warrior. Bring little to no weight in your right palm. Lift your left hand towards the back of the room. As you exhale, cartwheel down. Move through your vinyasa or skip it. And we'll head back to downward facing dog. We'll go ahead and move through that sequence again, focusing on those same movements, but a little more breath to movement connection this time. As you inhale, sweep your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale your hands to your hips or your heart. Exhale, melt down. Inhale, back up to warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, vinyasa. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, hands to hips or heart. Exhale, melt. Inhale, back up to warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, vinyasa. Connect back to your breath, to your intention in this down dog. We'll move through that sequence one more time on each side. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, hands to hips or heart. Exhale, melt. Inhale, back up, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, vinyasa. Inhale, sweep your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale your hands to your hips. Exhale, melt. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, move through your flow. Head back to downward facing dog. Go ahead and drop down to your knees. We'll do just a little bit of core work here. Plant your feet on the earth. We'll just do some basic crunches. Clasp your hands at the nape of your neck. Press your hips heavy into the earth. And as you inhale, lift your shoulders off the earth. Exhale, release. Inhale, back up. Exhale, back down. Continue to go as fast or as slow as you would like. Focus on pressing your lower back into the mat and really letting all of the work come from your core instead of relying on any other part of your body. You've got just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your hands overhead. Maybe drop your knees from side to side. You've got one more movement that focuses more on our obliques. We'll stay in that same shape in our lower body. This time we'll extend our hands along our side. As you inhale, lift your shoulders off the earth and begin to tap one foot and then the other, moving into these little penguin crunches, really focusing on squeezing your obliques as you move from side to side. If this hurts your neck, you feel like you're craning, you can bring your hands to support your neck and imagine driving your elbows all the way to your heels. Find whatever variation works for you. We've got 15 more seconds. You can do anything for 15 seconds. In the grand scheme of things, that's not really a ton of time. And we just got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your spine back on the earth. Do anything you need to release your lower back, your core, whatever is really calling to you right now. You are more than welcome to stay laying on your back. If you're staying with me, begin to rock up and down along your spine until you can cross over your heels, and we'll just take a brief intermission in child's pose. You're more than welcome to take yogi playtime, work on any variations that you're working on. Our hips and our core are super warmed up, so you're more than welcome to play with any tricks or just grab a sip of water, maybe towel off some sweat, and connect your forehead to the mat for child's pose. This is a moment of introspection, of reflection in our class where we have time, 30 minutes into class, 30 minutes left to go, to call back our intention to mind. How does this change how we think about the first half of practice and the last half of practice? Your intention can grow and evolve as the class duration ticks by. You're more than welcome to stay here for a few more moments of reflection. If you're ready to continue on with our movement practice, you can come up to a tabletop and head back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, journey to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half mountain pose. Draw your right knee in line with your right hip. Neutralize your pelvis by dialing your right hip down. If it's a little bit hiked up, you can bring your hands to your hips to facilitate that mind-body connection. Flex your right toes towards your shin. As you exhale, find figure four. That's that same shape that we took on our backs at the beginning of practice. Draw your right ankle on top of your left leg. Draw your hands to heart center and sink as deeply into this pose as your hip allows you to. You can stay here or begin to dangle your hands towards the earth, or if you're ready for it, our hips are fairly open, so you can play with flying pigeon if that is in your practice. We will flow through this 1 or 2 more times, but this slow round is the variation that we have time to find deeper expressions like arm balances, so take those here. Slowly begin to make your way back up to half mountain. And as you exhale, crescent airplane, like you're moving through honey, sweep your arms back, gently touch your right toes onto the earth, squeeze your pinkies together, inhale, crescent, sweep your arms overhead, and as you exhale, move through your vinyasa. Come back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, gaze ahead. Exhale, meet me at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half mountain. Draw your left knee in line with your hip this time. You can draw your hands to your hips to help find that connection. Flex your toes towards your shin. Draw your chin away from your chest. Squeeze your belly in. As you exhale, figure four. Draw your hands to heart center. Bring your left ankle on top of your right thigh. You can stay here. Begin to draw your elbows towards your leg or dangle your hands until they connect to the earth. You can play with finding an arm balance if that's in your practice and it's calling your name, or just stay and enjoy the outer hip opening. Again, this first round is the time where we have options for deeper variations as we'll move through a breath to movement in the following rounds. Slowly begin to come up to our half mountain pose. Exhale, airplane crescent. Sweep your arms back, hinge your body forward, touch down with your left toes. Inhale, crescent. And exhale, move through your vinyasa. Live through that again. A little bit quicker. As you inhale, gaze ahead. Exhale, hop, step, or float towards the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half mountain. Exhale, figure four. Inhale, half mountain. Exhale, crescent airplane. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, move through your vinyasa or skip it. We've done a lot of them today, so totally understand if you are ditching them right now. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, journey to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half mountain. Exhale, figure four. Inhale, half mountain. Exhale, slowly, crescent airplane. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, vinyasa. Connect to your breath. We don't have that much longer in class left before we start to chill things out a little bit. As you inhale, sweep your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten your right leg. Sass your front hip forward. Make a straight line from your right fingertips through your right leg. Tee out your arms. Maybe bump your back foot in. Shift forward, forward, forward. And as you exhale, enter full triangle pose. Bring your right hand to your shin or a block. Send energy and light through your left fingertips. Inhale, back up. Parallel your feet with the short edges of your mat. As you inhale, send your arms overhead. Exhale, goddess pose. Bring your hands to heart center. Sink your seat towards the earth. Straighten your back like you're sliding down a pane of glass. You're welcome to stay here or bring your hands to the tops of your thighs. Inhale, lift up through center. Exhale, dip your right shoulder towards the midline. Inhale, back up. Exhale, twist. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back to the middle. Exhale, dip. Inhale, back to center. Send your arms overhead. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Parallel your feet with the short edges of your mat. Melt the crown of your head towards the earth. You can find whatever arm variation serves you right now, whether that's having your hands in line with your toes or wrapping around the backs of your ankles. Shift weight into the midline of your foot. It's sometimes hard to trust ourselves not to fall forward, but have faith in your body. Plant your hands on the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Extend through the crown of your head. Exhale, pyramid pose. Crawl your hands around to frame your right foot. Step your back foot up and out at a 45-degree angle. Draw your hand to your lower back just to make sure that your hips are somewhat neutral. As you inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Draw your chin closer to your shin. As you inhale, halfway lift, extend through the crown of your head. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. You can take a chaturanga if it's really calling you right now. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten your left leg. Draw your front hip pointer towards the sky. Bring little to no weight in your right hand. Tee out your arms. Begin to tip forward, forward, forward. And as you exhale, enter full triangle pose. Draw your left hand towards your shin, a block, or whatever you have accessible. Peel your top shoulder and hip open. As you inhale, begin to rise up. Parallel your feet with the short edges of your mat. Clasp your hands together at your lower back. Inhale, puff up your chest. And as you exhale, wide-legged forward fold with a chest expansion. The grip is always optional. If it really is bugging your shoulders, you can ditch it or find a different variation that suits you better. Slowly release the grip by way of your low back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, pyramid pose. Draw your hands around to frame your left foot. Step your right toes up and out at a 45-degree angle. Do a little self-check to see if your hips are neutral. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold chin to shin. As you inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll start to cool things down a little bit here. As you inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, half pigeon. This is a big hip opener and it can be a lot on our right knee. So if this does not serve you and you'd rather find reclined figure 4, you have the space to move there now. Peek over your bent leg to help roll your left hip forward to ensure that your hips are neutral. Come back to center, and as you exhale, slowly begin to sleep your pigeon. Draw your forehead towards the earth. Let your hips melt heavy into the earth. Begin to come back onto your palms. So we'll take Gomukhasana, shift off onto your right hip. I'll turn around to face you so you can see this a little easier. Bring your left leg over your right, stack your hips over each other. Bring the knife edges of your feet towards the earth. You can stay here upright or slowly begin to melt your chest over your legs. Slowly begin to press your way up. Shift off onto one side and we'll come back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, half pigeon. Bring your left knee outside of your left wrist. Gaze over your left leg to help roll your right hip forward. You're welcome to stay upright or begin to drape your chest towards the earth. Connect your forehead to something to help relax your nervous system and let it know that it is time to chill out. Slowly begin to press your way back up, and we'll take Gomukhasana on this side. Shift off onto your left hip. Bring your right knee on top of your left. Stack your knees in one line. Stay here upright or begin to melt forward. This will feel like a lot of sensation in your outer hip. It's a really unique part of your glutes that I feel like we don't get to stretch all too often unless we consciously choose to do poses like this. Slowly shift over your legs, and we'll come back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, gaze forward, come through to a seat. As you exhale, we'll take cobbler's pose. Bring the soles of your feet to touch, spread your knees open wide, clasp your hands around your toes. Instead of pulling yourself deeper into this pose, I encourage you to let your muscles do the work for you. I can go pretty deeply if I use my upper body to pull myself deeper. But if I focus on just seeing the range that my muscles hold themselves, you'll see that I don't go down as far. I think it's really important to work in active range of flexibility instead of just resorting to a passive pulling ourselves deeper into certain postures. So focus on what you can do just using your hips. Slowly come back up and come to laying down on your back. Drive your knees into your chest. You can rock from side to side. We'll find happy baby pose. Reach for your shins or the outer blades of your feet. Pull your knees towards your armpit. Screw your tailbone into the earth. You can rock from side to side, maybe straighten one leg and then the other. Draw your knees back to center, straighten your left leg long, hug your right knee outside of your rib cage. And as you exhale, supine twist, bump your hips towards the right, drape your knee across your body. Slowly draw your knee back to center. Switch out your legs this time. Send your right leg long, hug your left knee in. Exhale, supine twist. Bump your hips towards the left. Send your knee across your body. Find a comfortable gaze with your neck. slowly come back up to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Those are all of the shapes that I have planned for this class. If there's anything else calling your name, feel free to move there now. If you're ready for Shavasana, squeeze yourself into a tiny ball. And as you exhale, Shavasana, send your knees or your legs and your arms out. Let yourself melt and feel heavy as you descend into Shavasana. I will leave you yogis in Shavasana today. Stay for as long as you desire. The longer, the better. I thank you, yogis, so much for choosing to spend an hour practicing with me today. Let yourself feel supported and soak up all of this beautiful energy. The light in me sees and honors the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.